If you want to use a pressure transducer like we have in the lab, the thing you have to know is that it consists out of two parts. The part on the left consists out of two pressure chambers, one high pressure chamber and one low pressure chamber. If you take a look at the bottom of the system, you will see that you have two quick connects where you can connect your tubes to the bottom of the chambers. If you want to measure a pressure difference, what you'll want to do is you will connect the high pressure side to the high pressure chamber and the low pressure side of your tube to the low pressure chamber. If you take a look at the top of the system, you will notice the letters L and H to indicate on what side you will have the high pressure chamber and where is the low one. Always make sure that if you want to measure that you first remove all the air from the pressure chambers. You can do this by opening up the screws that are indicated with the yellow arrows on the picture. If you want to compare the pressure in a pipe with the atmospheric pressure, what you can do is you can leave the low pressure chamber open and leave it not connected, and connect the tube where you want to measure the pressure to the high pressure chamber. Before you start your actual experiment, of course you're going to check whether the DC power supply is connected to the power socket and whether the multimeter is switched to DC current mode. If you take a look at the top of the transducer, you'll see a tag with the specifications of the system, and you will see two screws that control the zero position and measurement range of the system. Set the zero position in such a way that the output of 4 milliamps correspond to the lowest possible pressure that you want to measure. Now you apply the maximum possible pressure that you want to measure, and you change the range of the system so that you get a current output of 20 milliamps when this maximum pressure is applied. This way all pressures between the minimum and the maximum value you set will result in a current output between 4 and 20 milliamps. For the entire operation, do not forget to take a non-magnetic screwdriver, because otherwise the magnetic field of your screwdriver might screw up the output of your system. Since you're now familiar with a pressure transducer, it's time to learn how to work with an orifice plate. The setup, as it is made in the lab, consists out of a flange, which locally narrows the pipe, and 4 bypass tubes that allow you to measure the pressure at those positions. The outer tubes are called pipe taps, and they will allow you to measure the pressure relatively far away from the orifice plate. The two inner bypass elements are called corner taps, and they allow you to measure the pressure just before and after the orifice plate. With all this information, you can perform the experiments with both the pipe taps and the corner taps.